Hi everyone, I hope everyone is doing amazing. Please excuse my appearance, honey. I've had a little fussy infant, so we have not been getting much sleep. Let me show y'all him, matter of fact. Let me just show y'all. Now, he done kept me up all night, but check it out. So anyway, I have been getting a lot of questions from a lot of moms or new moms or up and coming moms, and they have been asking me, about breastfeeding and what is the process or the correct way to try to go about indulging in adult activity, aka having a drink or three. Okay. Now, mind you, having a drink of wine versus having a drink of liquor, alcohol, is different. Okay, so make sure that you prepare for whatever you're trying to do, because wine can be a lot less potent than liquor. But for starters, make sure that you prepare ahead of time. If not, 3 weeks, a month for sure, or try to. Even if 2 weeks, even if 1 week, just prepare yourself and make sure that you are well prepared for your baby to have at least 6 feedings of breast milk. For the brand new moms, meaning, moms that are about to give birth, prepare to, drink at least a month out so that you can pump, have a lot of breast milk handy, and then you'll be able to pump and dump the milk that's no good. Now, once you do have your child, your breast milk will flow really, really fast. It might come in fast. It just depends on the woman's body. But more than likely, your breast milk will come fast as soon as you have the baby. At first, it will be colostrum. But other than that, once your milk starts flowing in, start pumping. For me, I had my baby on July the 2nd, and my birthday was coming up August the 4th. So I knew that I wanted to celebrate my birthday, and I was also cleared by the pediatrician in the hospital and my doctor in the hospital to be able to pump and dump. So as soon as I got home, because in the hospital he was not latching, so they actually gave me formula bottles, small formula bottles for him to feed on. But once I got home, my milk started to come in and I was able to pump. An infant should drink 2 ounces of milk, okay? But every time that you pump, especially when your milk is first starting to come in, you're going to pump a lot, especially if you're pumping every 2 hours. Even if you stretch it to every 3 hours, each breast will probably give you up to 3 ounces, if not 4 ounces of breast. So once you calculate that, if your baby is only eating 2 ounces every 2 hours, but you're pumping up to 6 or 4 ounces every 2 hours, you'll be able to break your milk down, depending on how much you pump. Now, speaking for myself, I was able to pump 3 ounces of breast. My baby only ate 2 ounces every 2 hours, and I was pumping every 2 hours. So I was giving 6 ounces every 2 hours. My baby only ate 2, which was giving me 4 ounces of spare milk. So you always need to have, I'll show you all the next one. These are from Medela. Now, this is what I would store my milk in for refrigerated milk. Mind you, refrigerated breast milk can last up to 7 days, which is this. This is refrigerated breast milk. Frozen breast milk will last up to 9 months, 8-9 months. And fresh breast milk, meaning you're going to leave it out on the counter, room temperature, only give it about 6 to 7 hours. Make sure you rotate between your milk, meaning if you pump milk at 8 o'clock in the morning, make sure you put that milk out for, your next feeding versus just having milk from last night or if you did pump throughout the night, go ahead and freeze that milk and date it. Make sure you date your frozen milk. Name, date. So I pumped this milk on July 17th, 2019. Make sure I put his name, and once it's unthawed, once it unthaws, it'll probably give me about 5 to 5.5 ounces. So again, July 2nd, I had my baby. I had to prepare myself for August the 4th, which was my birthday. So I would go ahead and pump throughout the day. I know it's tiring being a new mom. It is a lot of work. You have to be very dedicated when you are breastfeeding, because once again, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of footwork, as well as, you know, it takes up a lot of your energy, because you have an infant. They want to feed every 2 hours, and you have to pump every 2 hours. So even if they're sleeping, you have to get up, pump, and just make sure that once again you're prepared. So by the time that you do start freezing your milk and, you know, keeping some in the fridge, it's easy to know that, you know, or it's less stressful to know that your baby will have a lot of milk to drink if you do engage in adult activity. So again, make sure that you pump every 2 hours. You store the excess milk, meaning you're either going to store it in for the fridge, or if you're preparing for a month, weeks ahead of time, you're going to store in a freezer bag, or storage bag is what they call them. And once again, this is Medela. Let me show you all. Okay, that's the steam bag. Right here. And it shows you how to freeze your milk. It gives you a lot of instruction, just to let you know, you know what I'm saying, just to give you, you know, ease your mind a little bit and let you know that, okay, my baby will be fed. But once again, even if it's like, you know, 4 days ahead of time, make sure that your baby has at least 6 feedings, because once you do start to drink, that milk is no good. So right before you start to drink, please remember, go ahead and pump. Get that fresh milk out, pump as much as you can, store it however it needs to be stored. And especially if it's fresh milk and you're getting a lot of milk still, make sure you just go ahead and refrigerate it. Or if you have enough room temperature bottles, go ahead and just freeze it. Take the frozen milk out of the freezer, at least like 3 or 4 bags, so that they can go ahead and unthaw, and then put them on the counter, or, you know, put them in the fridge for future feedings. So again, make sure that right before you start to drink, whether it's wine or alcohol. Now, mind you, a glass of red wine, I'm not sure of the measurements, of course not a huge glass, but Google the measurements. A glass of red wine, you don't have to pump and dump your milk. We were able to, you know, drink red wine while we were pregnant. So as long as you're not trying to, you know, get in 3 or 4 glasses, then you're good on that. But alcohol, any alcohol, even Seagrams or Mike's hard liquors, you know, those little spritzers or anything like that, anything that contains any percentage of alcohol, your milk is no good. So get you a fresh pump out, store it accordingly, and then once you start to drink, if you can, let your breast milk build up as much as possible. Your breast may become engorged, but the more milk you let out in the pump, especially when you're finished drinking. The more milk that you let out, you dump it, trash it. Don't even try to test it, nothing. Dump it. Because that next time that it's time for you to dump, that it's time for you to pump, go ahead, dump that as well. The third time, you should, if you're sober, if you're feeling sober, more than likely your milk is good. However, just to be on the safe side, there are test strips. These are from Target, and these are from Walmart. So what you would do is, around that third time that it's time to pump your breast, you would go ahead, pump your breast, literally take out one of these strips, open it, dip it in your milk, let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes. If it turns brown, or even if the top of the strip is brown but the rest is tan, it doesn't matter. It contains, your milk has a little bit of alcohol in it. Dump that as well. Try on your next pump to see if your milk is clean. But make sure that you do purchase these breast milk test strips. Please, please, please. They will take you a long way if you want to make sure that your baby is not getting any of that alcohol in your breast milk. I mean, it is a lot of work. However, just to be on the safe side, just to make sure that, you know, you enjoy your time, because we are pregnant for 10 months. So it is a lot. It is a lot of stress just to be a new mom. It's a beautiful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling. But don't think that you just have to completely cut off having a drink or two just because you're breastfeeding and you're a new mom. It's just a certain way to do it. If you all have any questions, if you want me to go into further detail about something that I said, or if you just want to know more information, make sure you comment down below. I will also put all my all of my social media in the description box below. And make sure you like, share. What's the other thing? Oh, subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe as well. So again, make sure you go ahead and put your milk in the fridge. Oh yeah, one more thing. If you are going to give your baby, an infant, the milk out of the fridge, make sure that you have your times together, because you need to take this out of the fridge and let it get to around, see, that's my cue, y'all. Let it get to around room temperature before you give it to baby. Or you can put it in some boiling water for a quick second, but don't just give them cold milk, which is another reason why you should make sure that you are on your times when it comes to unthawing your breast milk, because you don't want to give them cold milk. Okay, hope that helped y'all. Make sure you enjoy, and again, comment, like, subscribe. I'm out.